Insurance Buckeye Postgame Show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now, alongside former Buckeye Justin Zwick, here's your host, Brandon Beam.
It's a great night to be a Buckeye. Buckeyes go into Camp Randall in Madison, Wisconsin, and dispatch the Badgers 34-0. I am Brandon Beam. He is Justin Zwick. Jay-Z, happy college football Saturday to you, my friend. What's happening?
Oh, not much. A great day of football, and the Bucks go on the road and get it done, which makes it even that much better. But, it's just a good game up in Wisconsin.
Right?
Camp Randall. I mean, they were
pretty good about it.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I kind of break it down. I was just thinking about, like, what am I going to go with? And it's like, well, pass game, awesome.
Terrific.
Defense, awesome. Run game,
Still some
special teams, not very special.
Yeah, still some things to work out.
Kind of break it down.
But again, I think when you go to the 30,000-foot view and you say to yourself it was a 34-0 victory, you feel pretty good about this, right? Like, was there any question in your mind after the first drive when Ohio State got the football that Julian Sayin had a great throw, but it was a better catch from Carnell Tate? First drive of the game, great throw by Julian, better catch from Carnell. It was 7-0. Was there any threat in your mind that Wisconsin was going to be able to answer in the game? Because I know that Luke Fickell is a Buckeye, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's unfortunate what he's going through right now. He's got some crazy injury issues that unfortunately
you wouldn't wish on anybody.
No, he's been very snake bitten up there with quarterback injuries. But that Wisconsin offense was pedestrian, and you're going against the best defense in college football. They didn't look like they were threatening at all today. And then Ryan Day and the offense, the Buckeyes just said, all right, watch this.
Yeah.
It was 17-0 like that. And then incredible. The game was pretty much over.
Yeah, and it's felt that way in most of the games, with maybe the exception of Texas, because we weren't sure what was going to happen.
Illinois felt that way last week.
But basically, like everything else, is like, doesn't look great. Had a couple things go wrong. Missed field goal a couple times in the red zone. We're going for, settling for a kick.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever. We're going to get some points here. We're going to get the ball right back. We're going to go down and score again. Like you're not worried about the game at all. And it's kind of felt that way, here in the last, 5-6 games. So, I mean, it's a great feeling to have. You can really nitpick and you really dive into the things that you aren't doing well, instead of just being happy of like, oh my gosh, this redshirt freshman went 36 of 42 for 395 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
I don't know what his best throw of the day was. Like, there was multiple. Again, like after the first drive, I think he started the game 10 for 10.
10 for 10, yeah.
And if you were watching on the TV broadcast, they did a very nice highlight package of all those 10 for 10 passes that he had. I'm like, that's a better quarterback reel than most schools and most teams have in a full game.
Yeah.
There was 6 minutes off the clock when Julian Sayin was going off in the first quarter, and you could literally feel it. If you were in the car with the Buckeyes today, you could feel them downshift and say, all right, we're good. We're good. Doesn't matter what we do for the rest of the game. Our defense is not going to bail us out, but they're going to control the game, control the line of scrimmage. Doesn't matter. They're on their third-string quarterback, and
they lost a few guys today in the first half. I mean, they just had guys dropping. I mean, it's tough for them, but to your point, like, we were in control of the game. We came out right away, and we're just, all right, we're just going to let him. And I love that. I'm like, all right, hey,
42
they know what they got today. This is a learning experience for Julian Sayin. We're going to let him throw it as much as he has all year long. We're just going to let him go out and do it, because if we do get a turnover, something bad happens, we know their offense doesn't have a lot. Yeah. Our defense is going to get the ball back for us. I think they felt comfortable just saying, all right, let's let him rip it a little bit. And as we've seen most of the time this year, when you do that, good things happen. Some of the sideline balls that he throws, I mean, he is so good at leaving that ball eye level on the sideline so those guys can leave their, get their toe down as they're falling out of bounds. I mean, the accuracy on
Mylan Graham had a nice little toe drag.
Quincy Porter getting in there, getting some plays. I mean, you got these young guys.
And we know Carnell and Brandon and Jeremiah could do it. We know that.
Yeah, they are who they are. Yeah. And we've seen it. We know it. It's kind of crazy these young guys are getting some reps, though. I mean, but this is a game where you can do that. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of defensive guys probably young defensive guys got to play. And, and same on the offense. But they went in, they took care of business. And I mean, Jeremiah had, 9 or 10 catches. Carnell had, 6 or 7 catches.
Yeah, 13 catches.
Spreading it around.
9 catches for Jeremiah, 97 yards. He was targeted 13 times. And the crazy thing is, I think Julian Sand maybe left some yards on the table because the balls that he delivered to Carnell Tate, who went up and attacked the ball, were great throws by him. Also, good job by Carnell. The ones where he went deep to JJ, I feel like they were maybe underthrown a little bit, and Jeremiah was kind of battling to either break it up or just try to do a crazy play, which obviously he's capable of. I think if you throw that 5 yards, maybe more.
Oh, the first one, if Julian puts that to the back pylon, JJ runs. He's already by his defender. Yeah. And if you just stretch that a little bit longer, he runs right underneath of it. I think, and Ryan's talked about it this year, but like talking with, hey, when we're throwing the deep ball, we want to put some air underneath of it, let these guys have a chance to kind of react and, come back to it. Now, those two that you're talking about, the one to Carnell, didn't have any air under it. That was a shot to the back of the end zone. If it had been the same length, I think he has JJ in the corner of the end zone. But that one just, kind of he short-armed it a little bit and didn't get it out as far as he needed to. But, again, 6 incompletions out of 42 passes. Yeah. That's hard to do on air, let alone with a defense. Now, granted, they might not be the best defense in the world, but they're going to be a solid defense.
Listen, they're a Big Ten defense. Yes. And Wisconsin's problem, if you haven't watched them or listened to them before today, the problem is...
The defense is on the field all day like it was today.
The problem is their offense, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the problem is with Wisconsin, it is their offense. Their defense is fine. Yeah. Like, when you compare them around other teams in the Big Ten, they're fine. They're okay. They're very good in the run game. I know that Iowa ran all over them last week, but again, I think that's a product of them just being on the field for so long, and then late in the game, you can see them wearing down and getting tired. But for Julian Sand to go out today and do what he did on the road, again, 3 games in the last 4 times we've seen these Buckeyes play, 36 of 42, 394 yards, 4 touchdowns. Those are all career highs for him. Completions, pass attempts, yards, and touchdowns. It was just a wild day at the office for him.
It wasn't, and I just love the idea of them saying, "Hey, we're going to go and just let him rip it." Yeah. I mean, first 10 plays, I think. I don't even know if we ran the ball.
I don't think they did.
Maybe they snuck one in, but it's like basically the first 10 plays of the game were him throwing the ball, and it was really nice because they were rolling him out, they were moving the pocket, staying in the pocket, just doing different things with him, and no matter when he's on the run to the right, if he's on the run to the left, he gets his shoulders turned. He makes, the one touchdown he threw.
Was it Brandon Innes?
Yeah, that's it towards the end of the game. I mean, what a ball. On the run to the right, and he puts it right in the back of the end zone. I mean, the kid's special, and we've been seeing it, but 36 of 42 is a good day at the office, man. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, no, it was
pretty special.
It was pretty good. He made a couple of throws today. We were like, wow. Yeah. That was very impressive.
Again. Yeah, now on the other side of that, just wonder about how much better it could be if we had a run game that somebody had to worry about.
Yeah, offset it a little bit.
Yeah, just offset. Now, granted, they may have been saying, hey, we're not going to let you run the ball. We're going to make this young guy come and throw it all over us.
Honestly, I know that Carlos Loughlin does a great job with those running backs. Bo Jackson, he was your leading rusher for the day as far as carries go. 10 carries, 26 yards. Also a nice day for him out of the backfield with catches. 5 catches for 57 yards. I think there's a reason why we saw Isaiah West in the football game early and often. 9 carries for 54 yards for him. He got skinny on a couple of drives, Jay-Z. On a couple of plays, you could see him maybe cut back against the grain of the way that the play was going. I do think they're trying. They're trying. We've talked about it so much in this opening sequence of games, and now we're 7 games through the season. There are more games that have been played than there are going to be played. I do think they're truly searching for answers. And again, the word from Ohio State this week, if you didn't listen to any of their press conferences, like, yep, we're going to break one. The run game is there. The run game is there. The run game is there. It wasn't today. But again, Isaiah West was your leading rusher as far as yards go. 9 carries, 54 yards. They're looking for something.
Well, and that tells me they're seeing something in practice. Because, we did see him pop. What was that, Grambling maybe? He was in there and had, a couple good runs, maybe a couple touchdowns.
70 points on the scoreboard on that game.
So that is what it is. But since then, we really hadn't seen him kind of get into the game. Bo kind of took over, and he was kind of making his move to become the starter. CJ was still the big, back on the goal line. So for them to be in week 7 on the road And all of a sudden, Isaiah West is getting thrown in there. You know, I think during practice, they're saying, all right, he's seeing some things that maybe other guys aren't seeing here in practice. Let's put him in the game and see. And I think he ended up having the longest run from scrimmage today.
He did.
You know, late in the game. Now, granted,
15 yards. Yeah.
Their defense was on the field a lot, you know, tired him out, whatever. He still, you know, had the longest run, had a good day for not really being a guy that they were going to here in the last few games.
Yeah, and Carlos Lachlan said during training camp, like, hey, we got 6 starters at running back. And I don't know if anybody believed him because it's going to be James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson. And then all of a sudden, now we're 7 games into the season, and you're seeing Isaiah West and Bo Jackson get some carries. So, again, a bye week coming up here. We'll see what happens against Penn State in a couple of weeks, but definitely room to improve on the ground. Defense today was stupendous. I don't know. We're kind of running out of superlatives to talk about them. 0 points again. This Wisconsin offense is bad, but still you have to go out and you have to play a full 60 minutes. This is another team in the NCAA that is giving their guys scholarships, and as a whole, 144 yards total for the Badgers. 144 yards through 60 minutes. Like, that's pretty good.
I mean, you went, to halftime? It was maybe 300 to like 69.
It was, it was tough.
That is just tough sledding. And, you know, and again, defense goes on the road. They get another turnover early in the game. And when you get that against a team like Wisconsin,
it just flips. There was never a point in time.
There was never a thing. And also the psychology of that team. He was like, all right, we got the number 1 team coming in. We're fired up. This is going to be our Super Bowl.
Yep.
Second, you know.
Dead.
Yeah. Like, interception first quarter. They just scored. Now they're going to do it again. All right. Wins out of the stadium. Like, wins out of the sails. These guys know what's going to happen to them today. And they still fought hard. And you expect that out of a Fickell-led team because he's he's one of those guys that's going to make sure his team does it, or they're going to pay for it if they don't. But
they just ran into a buzzsaw.
They ran into a buzzsaw. And I think he probably knew that was going to happen. It is what it is. You got to go out and play and just play hard. I think that's what he's telling us. Like, we just got to be putting effort on film, play hard, do what we can, you know, try and affect this ball game, and they just don't have enough.
No, they don't. They don't have the horses in the stable. One thing of note, I thought it was interesting today, the amount of procedure penalties that Ohio State had. Had a couple of false starts on the offense, and then you had Kenyatta and I'm blanking on the other defensive end for Ohio State that jumped off a couple of times. I think him and Caden maybe both did on one, and then I think they got Kenyatta great
another
knee catch,
time.
I think, by the Wisconsin tight end who was able to grab that.
Oh, that's right.
Fantastic catch by him. They get a Buckeye lead for that one. But yeah, there's a few things. Again, we're entering the second off weekend, and then it's a mad dash. You got 5 more games to go after the bye weekend next weekend. There are things that this Ohio State coaching staff can point to and say, hey, if we're in a 1-possession game, or maybe the weather is gnarly, whatever it is, that we do this against a good team in a close game, this will cost us the game. They can definitely point to that on the big board tomorrow.
You point to those penalties. You point to missed field goals. You point to punts not being caught, letting go down on the 1 yard line, which I think we went on a drive there anyway. So, I think we scored off that. But, just there's definitely coaching points, and it's, I mean, how lucky is this coaching staff to be like, all right, we're going to go get on these guys. We're undefeated. We're the number 1 team in the country. Yeah. Nobody's come close to us, really, but we're still going to get after them because of these certain little plays, because we got to clean those up. Because in November, it's for contenders.
Yes, that's what I've heard. October is for pretenders. You finished the rest of the sentence. November is for
contenders.
That is right. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification right here on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Always and forever, your Ohio State flagship station.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Good day at the office for the Buckeyes. Again, the final score today from Camp Randall. Ohio State 34, Wisconsin nothing. Coming up next, we're going to be joined by linebackers coach James Lauronitis as the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our low prices. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You can join us Thursday at noon for the next Ryan Day Show presented by Roosters. If you've got questions about today's game or the upcoming matchup against Penn State, you can submit them via X at OSU Coach or go to OhioStateBuckeyes.com. Click on the Ryan Day Show inbox icon. Again, the final scores today from Madison, Wisconsin. Buckeyes 34, Badgers nothing. More of the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Growing up in the family business, I've seen firsthand the joy and love that comes with finding the perfect engagement ring. For over 77 years, our family's been dedicated to providing the best quality, unmatched selection, and the guaranteed best price. From timeless classics to custom designs, we have the perfect ring for every love story. Let our family help you celebrate the moments that mean the most. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Salmo Road or at Easton Town Center.
Round here, it's all or nothing. And nobody has more all-wheel drive choices than Toyota. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.75 on RAV4 Hybrid, excludes plug-ins, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $309 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax title and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Buckeye fans expect a certain standard. That's true of the food they share on game day too, which is why Giant Eagle is always part of the game plan. With fresh, high-quality food and everyday savings, it's easy to tailgate like a champ or feed the ravenous fans at home. For long touchdown runs and effortless grocery runs, Giant Eagle is here. Giant Eagle, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Your Ohio State flagship station, The Fan. Now back to the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Back here on the postgame show, Buckeyes get it done on the road in Camp Randall, 34-0 against the Badgers of Wisconsin. We are now joined by linebackers coach James Lauronitis. First and foremost, Coach, congratulations on the win. Thanks for joining us. Defense flying around today, shutout on the road in a conference game. I know you guys are feeling good in the locker room right now.
Yeah, I mean, as always, when you're a coach, you always think about the bad plays, right? So there's definitely stuff that last drive you got to correct, but ultimately, our guys were locked in. They were focused. You always have to respect your opponent in the Big Ten. And our guys were locked in all week. I think last week against Illinois, we had a lack of focus in the second half that allowed them to go down the field and get some points. And so we challenged our guys this week to really be dialed in throughout 60 minutes of the game, and they were.
Well, with the exception of that last drive, I think their longest play was the fake punt. So you guys did pretty well throughout the rest of the game. Just talk to us a little bit about, the young corners. Aaron Scott made a nice play at the end of the game. Everybody's going to be a highlight that people are going to be talking about here. Devin Sanchez having another early penalty. How did he bounce back? Just talk a little bit about those young guys. Leroy Roker getting in the game. I think early in the second quarter, I saw him flying around. Can you just, talk about those guys a little bit?
Yeah, I think, you are trying to build depth. And anytime you have a lead like this, there's no you can't underestimate the amount of experience they can gain from getting these live reps in the Big Ten Conference. So when you have guys, whether it's Aaron Scott, whether it's Roke, whether it's TJ Alford and Riley Pettyjohn. Like, anytime you can get those guys reps in a game, in a conference game against, really good talent, I think that's invaluable. You know what I mean? So, because you can only practice, like, they go against guys every day in practice that are elite. You know what I mean? That's good. But like in practice, you're used to having corrections. When you're in a game, like, that's a test, right? Like, practice is just preparation for the test on Saturday. So you got to see how they do, on the road when they're out there in front of the big crowd. And, I thought that our guys did a really good job of locking in. And I think what's important too there, Justin, is that, like, at the end, it kind of shows the camaraderie and the brotherhood that is still here on this team, right? Like, Aaron Scott gets that stop on 4th down and the whole sideline erupts. That was full of defensive players, right? And they're excited to see the young players make plays, which I think just speaks to the culture.
We've got James Lauronitis, linebackers coach, with us here on the postgame show. Coach, 144 total yards in the game for Wisconsin. Did have the turnover early, which I was hearing Coach Day a little bit earlier in the press conference talk about. Sonny, when he goes up to get that ball, do you guys do tip drills? I know that's more maybe a DB drill, but it looked like he was pretty alive, alert, enthusiastic when he was able to get his mitts on that ball early in the first quarter.
Oh, I'm just glad he caught it because he dropped the one against Texas. You know what I mean? So I was joking with the guys all week that, who had Peyton Pierce getting the first pick in the LB room last week. I was like, I don't know if anybody had that before the season.
Did he watch Peyton tape to get that pick?
I guess so. But, like, once you secure it, I was giving him a hard time that he didn't house call it. But, Sonny is one of the smartest players that I've been around. He prepares really well. He goes about it every single day. He's a pro. He's a leader. That's why he wears the Blocko. And to see him get that, to see Arvell get another sack, those guys, I joke around and say that they're aliens because when you have two guys that are, 6'3 plus, 6'4, and move the way that they do, it's such a luxury. And then to have a guy like Peyton Pierce who is tough as heck, he could be starting at so many other places right now. And I consider him a starter. You know what I mean? Like, just because we get nickel a lot of times, like, that's why I rotated Peyton a whole lot more today, is because the fact the way he played last week and the way he's been doing in practice, and he deserves it. Those three guys deserve to rotate through. And I tell the room all the time, like, the way we prepare in the week will determine your reps on Saturday. And if a fourth guy emerges, then he'll get it as well. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. It's all about how you prepare and how you do in practice.
Well, they're preparing very well, it seems, on that defensive side. To flip over to the O, got to do it for a second. 36 of 42, just under 400 yards. Julian saying when he was named starter back, in camp, did you, you saw him, you guys were going against him every day in practice. Did you think, like, hey, halfway through the season, he's going to come out on the road at Wisconsin and have a game like this?
Well, Julian, he'll make a throw. A couple throws every practice. Really, like, holy smokes! Like, he can really rip it in there. You know what I mean? You see the talent, and obviously the guys on offense are doing a great job getting those guys prepared. And you're just impressed with the composure. The impressive thing to me about Julian is nothing's too big for him. You know what I mean? Like, he goes out there, no matter what the stage is, he's gonna go out there and handle it. And the most surprising thing to me today was when he pulled the ball.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
He pulled the ball and ran it. I'm like, holy smokes,
everybody else watching.
It was the right read, and I think that's the way it's got to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that confidence builds for him. Those types of things will start to come, throughout the rest of the season as well.
No doubt. So, really good job by him. And
he's got some aliens to throw the ball to, too, though.
Yes,
you talk about your aliens.
Gosh, that catch by Carnell. Yeah. Honestly, though, like, when you're at practice and you see that stuff all the time, like, when you see it happen on Saturday, it's really not, like, abnormal to you. Like, it's not really like a shock and awe. It's like, yeah, we see these guys practice like this every day.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Coach, always appreciate the time. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Congratulations on the win. Go get yourself a little cough drop. Enjoy the bye week with Mav, the girls.
I don't know what happened. I must have coached my tail off today.
It's gone. I know.
No idea.
Hey, you know what? You pitched a shutout. Doesn't
That's
matter.
right.
You were coaching your tail off. Always appreciate it, Coach. Have a great bye week. Safe travels home, and we'll check in again down the road, all right?
Awesome, guys. Enjoy. Go Bucks.
There he goes, linebackers coach James Lauronitis with us here on the postgame show. Yeah, again, JZ, you and I were talking about it in the first segment. Kind of a loss for superlatives when we're talking about Peyton Pierce and Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese, because those guys, again, are I don't even want to say probably. They are the best linebacker tandem and trio in the country when you include Peyton.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about it that way, but yes, I think you're right there. And then you start throwing in our secondary. And I mean, we have multiple different position groups that are like probably up there in the best in the country. And it's pretty
Tight
insane.
ends is up there. Very good.
Yeah. I mean, all over the board, but the defense, again, just solid. And you can't really, I don't want to say nobody jumped off the screen today, but it was just a solid performance by everybody.
Yes, it was.
All around. So, I mean, when you have that, this in the middle of the season, that's a good feeling.
Again, the final score today from Camp Randall, Buckeyes 34, Badgers nothing. Coming up next, we're going to check your scoreboard from across the country as the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Hey, Buckeye fans, it's Polk Heels for Window Nation. Columbus, did you know you can get 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game if you replace all the windows in your home with Window Nation? This month, they're offering 50% off all window styles, plus no payments for 2 whole years. That's right, no down payment, no monthly payments, and no interest until 2027. Get big savings, plus 1-day installation with Window Nation, a proud partner of Ohio State Athletics. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com today.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts. And for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You can join us Monday night at 6 p.m. for our next Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. Our broadcast team of Big Daddy Paul Keels, Jim Lachey, Coach John Cooper, and Skip Mossick will break down today's game, preview the upcoming matchup with Penn State. That's Buckeye Roundtable Monday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Again, the final score today from Camp Randall, Buckeyes 34, Badgers nothing. More of the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile, get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
The Donato's Pep Duo Pizza is back, and it brought a pal. The Donato's Pep Duo, loaded with crispy pepperoni and 3 kinds of cheese. Now get a large Pep Duo pizza for just $14.99. Also back, Donato's deliciously dippable pepperoni cheese bread. Now on the $5 Pizza Pals menu for a limited time. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's, gotta love more.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Hear every Buckeye game every year. The Fan. This is the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Second in the shotgun. Awaiting the snap from Carson Hinsman. Wisconsin shows blitz. Snap to Sayan. Pressure coming. He steps back to throw. Slides to his left. Cranks and fires deep down the middle of the field for Tate. In the air. Grabs it. Comes down with a ball. And it's going to be a touchdown. Carnell Tate, 33 yards. Grabs that heave from Julian Sand, and he caught it between a couple of defenders. And the Buckeyes get on the board first, leading 6-0 here at Wisconsin.
Absolute dot from Julian Sand. If that was an indication of the way that the day was going to go for him, then it was a pretty good indicator because, again, his final passing stats today, 394 yards, 36 of 42, and 4 touchdowns. Big day from Carnell Tate as well. 6 catches, 111 yards, and then 2 touchdowns. He was showing out. Carnell was showing out today.
He was showing out. It's I think it's just really cool how they were able to say, we're going to put this game on Julian.
Yeah.
And we're just going to let him go.
On the road?
Yeah, no
Wisconsin,
big deal.
Camp Randall,
Yeah.
notoriously tough place to play. Fine.
Yep.
That's all right. Put
No
it on
big
10
deal.
shoulders.
Put
He's
on the
okay.
redshirt freshman, second Big Ten road game. We're going to put it on his shoulders. We're going to throw him 40-plus times a day and just see what happens. And they go out, and it's 10 for 10, right out the gate, right down the field. And then he just continues to make plays. And he did a really good job moving the pocket. He's so good pocket present-wise.
Yes, he is.
Like, he sees somebody, he just steps up. He doesn't bail right away. He just kind of moves himself, tries to find some space. And you're going to run into some sacks doing that when you're, I don't want to say nonchalant about it, but that's kind of what he is. Like, he's just moving up, and he's trying to feel it. And he does such a good job keeping his eyes downfield. When he does have to run and get out of there, he's able to put the ball on the money. And then again, he pulled one, as James, kind of joked about, pulled one down and
best run of the day
had a
for Ohio
really
State.
nice run. So you start throwing that in. That's just that's one of those plays that everybody's going to say, now we got to watch him coming out the backside.
Yep.
Because he can do it. He's not going to do it 10 times a game.
In practice now.
Exactly.
Having to deal with his legs.
Have your scout team guy pull it a couple times to bring it out the backside.
Yeah.
Because, he's now doing that too. So special game for him. And man, the receivers. I don't think I ever threw a ball as good as the one to Carnell, or had a catch as good as Carnell.
Which
the one
one?
in the back, the first one. But it's just like, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was
What a way to start the game.
It was a nice day, right? And then again, I don't know which throw from Julian was the best. And I don't know which catch of the day was the best. Probably that one from Carnell in the back of the end zone. That was pretty good. Again, 34-0 was your final score from Camp Randall. Buckeyes not the only team that was in action today across the college football world. Got a couple of good ones going on right now in prime time. Save that for a little bit later. How about the number 3 team in the country? Indiana, big win last week over Oregon on the road in Autzen. No problem for them today as they go up to East Lansing to Spartyland. Dispatch of Michigan State 38-13. Georgia and Ole Miss, number 9 Georgia hosting Blaine Kiffin and the Rebs down between the hedges down at Sanford Stadium a little bit earlier. And this game was pretty good. Ole Miss had a lead, and then Georgia says, do you have a lead? We're not so sure. How about Scott Howard on the Bulldog Sports Network?
Humphrey in motion, lines up to the right behind the tight end Delp. Play fake, Bowens throw it across the goal line in the end zone. Caught, touchdown! Touchdown, Lucky! Lawson Lucky with his 3rd touchdown catch of the day. He beats Sage Ryan, the safety, on a dart by Gunner. And the Dogs have the lead, 39-35 with 7:29 to go.
That game would end up being a final of Georgia 43, Ole Miss 35. Kirby and the boys hand Lane and the Runnin' Rebs their first loss of the season.
The Rebs barely got by last week.
Yeah, they did.
And they
They're
finally
flirting.
run up against it here today. A big win there. Vandy got a big win today as well. 31-24 LSU.
Absolutely, they did. It was a big one, right? I mean, get smoked by Alabama last week, come back, you entertain LSU at the time, was 5-1, number 10 team in the country. Feeling good about yourself. Vandy football. I would say they're back, but I don't know if they've ever been there. Vandy football is the real deal. 31-24, the final score from that one earlier, defeating LSU. Georgia Tech, scrappy against Duke. I was watching this game a little bit earlier. 27-18, the final score against Duke in that one. Georgia Tech moves to 7-0
how about
on
that?
the season. Haynes King, 14 carries, 120 yards. And then through the air for him, 14-21, 205 yards. Didn't have any touchdowns.
He's a gritty quarterback. He's just one of those guys. He doesn't do anything crazy awesome, but it's just he just gets the job done, and he keeps fighting, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I like them.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah, if you haven't watched any Georgia Tech this year, go and watch them next weekend. Oklahoma, no problem with Lenora Sellers and South Carolina. 26-7 the final on that one. A little bit of an upset here. 3-4 UAB takes down number 22 Memphis to give them their first loss of the season at home, 31-24. JZ, were you watching last night as the number 2 team in the country, the Miami Hurricanes, entertained Louisville? Cards 24, Canes 21, first loss of the season for Miami.
Yeah, Carson Beck had a rough one last night.
Then he threw his receiver.
On the bus, which is it's a no-no as far as quarterbacking goes. You always take the blame,
right,
in any situation. And Carson, he was in his feelings last night.
He
in that press conference.
Picks.
Yeah,
he threw 4 picks in the last one.
You take all the blame when you throw 4 picks. No matter what else happened in the game, if I didn't throw those 4 picks, we might have had a chance. Yeah. I put us in bad situations.
Yeah, it was tough.
We ran the wrong route, wrong play.
Come on, people comparing Miami to Ohio State. Again, we'll see what the rest of their season kind of looks like. These two teams are on a head-on collision for the playoffs. I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Mario Cristobal late in the season has a tendency to blow some games.
Watching that Michigan game today. I thought that was going to be a better game than what it ended up being score-wise, which I think it was. Damon Williams had a couple bad turnovers back-to-back that just put them, behind the 8 ball and couldn't get back into it.
Yeah, really bad turnovers. Yes. 2 throws right to Michigan. I think a linebacker.
With receivers open, but he just threw, really bad balls.
Yeah, right, back-to-back, too.
Yes.
It was tough. Michigan's offense capitalized. They beat Washington 24-7 in the Big House. Northwestern, no problem with Purdue. 19-0 up in Evanston. So they get that job done. Last night in the Big Ten, Minnesota hands Nebraska their second loss of the season as the Cornhuskers go to 5-2. That final was 24-6. Currently, right now, in the Big Ten, Oregon, 0 problem bouncing back from the Indiana loss, which they occurred last week in Autzen. It is 42-3 at halftime in favor of the Ducks on the East Coast against Rutgers and the Shiano Man. Penn State going through a whole heck of a lot this week, right? 3 losses in a row. Boom, boom, boom. Oregon, UCLA, Northwestern at home during homecoming. They are on the road in Kinnick. It is a very tight game between the Nittany Lions and the Hawkeyes. Currently, Penn State leads that game 7-3. UCLA, who's on a bit of a heater right now, 7, Maryland 3. Got 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. And again, your finals from today, a little bit earlier. Michigan defeating Washington 24-7, Northwestern 19, Purdue nothing, and then Minnesota last night 24, Nebraska 6. Games currently going on in the top 25 right now. Undefeated Texas A&M. 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter against not Sam Pittman because he got fired earlier in the season. On the road in Fayetteville against Arkansas. A&M leading currently 38-35 against Arkansas. Justin, that's a pretty good one. Texas A&M, a lot of hype down there in College Station. They're thinking
Arkansas loses a coach a couple weeks back. It's just funny how when a coach gets fired, all of a sudden a team will get fired up and start going out and playing. It's like, wish you guys would have done that before they fired me.
Where was that 3 weeks ago?
Coach is sitting there watching the game I'm proud of the kids.
If I was the coach, I wouldn't be watching the game. I'm probably not, I'm probably out on that one. Washington State on top of Virginia, who is ranked currently 18th in the country, 17-7. That one at half down in Virginia. Texas, 3.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. 7, Kentucky, nothing. Your big ones going on tonight. We got dual barrel in the radio station right now. You got USC and Notre Dame. Notre Dame on top, 13-0 in this game. And we must be behind on the TV.
Because they must score on this play right here.
They must score on this play. And Notre Dame confirmed just scored a touchdown because the scoreboard on the website that I'm looking at had Notre Dame on top 13-7. They did just score a touchdown. Jadarian Price, 16-yard rushing touchdown. Notre Dame 13, USC 10, and then the big one in the SEC tonight, Tennessee at Alabama. Crimson Tide currently up 7-0. End of the first quarter in that one. They just started the second half down there in Tuscaloosa. Or second quarter, excuse me.
Yeah, some good football going on tonight.
Absolutely.
Get home, see these second halves to be hopefully some good endings.
Mac earlier today, Ball State takes down Akron 42-28. OU, no problem with Northern Illinois. They moved to 4-3 on the season. 48-21, your final score there. Central Michigan 27. They take down Eddie and the Falcons of Bowling Green 27-6. Miami of Ohio defeats Eastern Michigan 44-30. And Toledo all over Kent State today 45-10. The victors are Toledo. Again, the final score today from Camp Randall, 34 Buckeyes, 0 Badgers. Coming up next, we're going to hear from head coach Ryan Day as the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey there, Buckeye fans. Kroger is teaming up with the Ohio State Buckeyes to tackle hunger. Kroger is challenging Buckeye Nation to help donate 1 million meals by Thanksgiving to neighbors in need. Together, we can help create communities free of hunger. All you have to do is round up at checkout now through November 23rd. Every dollar helps provide 10 meals. Visit your local Kroger for more details, and let's work together to end hunger.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium, presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Always and forever your home of the Buckeyes. Home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Ohio State is idle next Saturday. Enjoy your bye week, will you? Their next game will be 2 weeks from today against Penn State. Stay tuned to this station for the airtime of our AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show. Again, the final score today from Camp Randall. Buckeyes 34, Badgers nothing. More of the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Buckeye fans expect a certain standard. That's true of the food they share on game day too, which is why Giant Eagle is always part of the game plan. With fresh, high-quality food and everyday savings, it's easy to tailgate like a champ or feed the ravenous fans at home. For long touchdown runs and effortless grocery runs, Giant Eagle is here. Giant Eagle, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, getting ahead in this world is not as complicated as it might seem. Having the early guidance and counsel of your community banker, one who knows you and your family's story, can make a great deal of difference. Relationships matter. Bank on community banking. I'm Scott McComb. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Smith and Ennis wide right. Coming wide to the left is Tate. Donaldson in the backfield, and Sands going to throw. Lofts at left corner of the end zone. Tate got it for another score. Carnell Tate on a 10-yard catch from Julian Sand. The second time those two have hooked up for a score today, and Ohio State has added to their lead. It is 16-0 over Wisconsin.
7 targets today for Carnell Tate, 6 catches, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. Both very special in their own way, Justin. But that first one was great. Second one was very good. Again, I think I saw a lot of people on Twitter, formerly, or I should say X, formerly known as Twitter, just raving about Carnell Tate. Like, oh man, this guy's got a future in the NFL. Yeah, he plays wide receiver for Ohio State. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Yeah, just because his name's not Jeremiah doesn't mean he's not going to go in the first round.
Correct.
He is going. Some NFL team is going to love him coming out in the draft. And I mean, the second touchdown, he's done that multiple times this year. I mean, that back shoulder fade, whatever you want to call it, in the end zone. He's so good at it. And Julian does a good job of putting the ball up high so he can use his length to just use those strong hands. I mean, and not to mention, on that same play, he had both those guys wide open. Jeremiah was up top, Carnell was down there, and they were both open for that same ball. But, I mean, Carnell's special, and it's just crazy because you hear so much about Jeremiah, and rightly so, because he is, I think, the best receiver in college football. But that doesn't mean there aren't guys that are really, really, really good, and Carnell is one of those.
Yes, he is. Again, 6 catches, 111 yards. Here was Ryan Day after the game talking about Carnell Tate and seeing the results of his hard work in the off seasons and how he's grown as a receiver here with the Buckeyes.
Well, I mean, his play speaks for itself, and I mean, the catch he made early on is tremendous. You see some of those catches he makes is on the sidelines. He's a great blocker. He is playing himself to be, again, first rounder and All-American, and he's just a different style of player than Jeremiah, but just as dangerous and just as good. And to see somebody who has put the work in, and again, you heard me say before, put the dirty work in, and now he's seeing a lot of the balls come his way, and he's seeing a lot of play. The throw and catch on the back shoulder fade. All those things are working for him, and it's great to see him, have success, with the numbers he's getting now, because this is a guy that sacrificed a lot in the past, a little bit last year, and had to, put the work in and then maybe not see the numbers and see the results, but had faith in the program and stuck in there and believed in the culture, and now you're seeing it pay off for him, and that's a great sign for everybody on the team, including the young players and. But at all positions.
Yeah, it's a huge indictment on the Ohio State program as a whole, right? I mean, we live in a world now, Jay-Z, where NIL world, if you don't start, and even James talked to us about it a little bit earlier, and Peyton Pierce, he could be starting for a lot of teams across the country, but you stay here, you learn, you develop. Carnell Tate is obviously reaping the rewards of him staying and putting in the work right now.
Yes, and I mean, you've seen over the last couple of years, just guys who come on, who wait the process out, love being at Ohio State, love the brotherhood, all the stuff that comes with it. And then it's like, all right, they're just a fringe guy. And then all of a sudden their last year, boom.
Superstar.
They hit it, superstar. And they're awesome. They play 1 year at Ohio State for the most part, and they get drafted to go play in the NFL.
It'll be like Arvell Reese situation.
Arvell Reese, 1,000%. So, I mean, I think these kids now, and I think it also goes back to the way Ryan and his staff, the kids they recruit. Because if you're asking how much we're giving you right away, they're just going to say, this is not for you.
Yeah.
That's not what we're about here. We want to bring you in. Then we'll give you a fair deal, but we want to make sure you have the right fit for our team, for the personality of the guys that we have here. And so I think they do a really, really good job of making sure they bring in the right guys in. But then once they get here and they realize, like, this is awesome. We have so much talent.
The best.
I mean, even like I may not be playing as much as I want to, but I'm getting coached really well. I'm seeing Jeremiah Smith, how hard he works and how he goes about his business. He's going to be, potentially a Hall of Famer down the road. You get to see these guys in front of you, and it just goes to show, like, the good kids who are here for the right reasons to get, become better football players, become better men, students, all that. They're saying, I don't have to go anywhere. I like it here. I like Ohio State. We're really good. Most of the time, year in, year out.
This is fun.
I just want to, I like winning, and, at some point, I'm going to get my time to shine, and when I do, coaches talk about it all the time. When you get your opportunity, you got to go and, you got to go make it.
Absolutely.
Make it rain. And that's how it comes down to. But, having these guys late in their years have the success, it's only going to get better, because you're going to start seeing younger guys just say, yeah, they did it. I'm going to do the same thing.
Julian Sand did it today. 36 of 42, 394 yards, 4 touchdowns, all career highs for him. Here was Ryan Day about the passing game and how they kind of wanted to test it out in Camp Randall.
Yeah, have to go back and watch the film and figure out what was good and what broke down. But as you guys could tell, we wanted to come out and throw the ball more in this game and kind of try to get a feel for where we really are in the passing game, because we know we're going to need both here down the stretch. And that's a defense that I think is a very good defense. And they don't always get put in the best situations throughout the season, but like I said to our offense, I said, this is a defense that tackles well. They're well coached. Luke does a good job. And I think when we broke down, it was because we either lost focus or didn't execute all the way down the field. And a good defense is going to force you to work the ball down the field like that. They're not just going to let you take long shots. Even when we tried to shoot the ball down the field, you could tell that they're just backing up. And but it's good for them to feel that as well.
Wisconsin pinned their ears back a couple of times. Jay-Z made Ohio State punt. But again, at the end of the day, I think it was just an overwhelming amount of talent and scheme. And Wisconsin's defense was on the field for so long, which has been their story, again, for mostly the entire season. Their offense can't do anything. Defense, by the end of the game, they get wore down. But, yeah. Well, yeah, if Ryan wanted to test the pass game today, I would say that they passed that test. It was very good.
I would hope so. He's like, well, I got to go look at the film. I'm like, there's only like 6 plays you got to look at to really critique here. Now, with that being said, I think Julian did a good job today of taking what they were giving him. And in a lot of the check downs, he's so quick at getting the ball out. Like, if he doesn't love what he's seeing, he's easy to check it down. And that's a great way to play. But in that same aspect, when they're watching the film, they're going to say, hey, one more split second. You see this over here downfield? Like, we had him open, but
4 is going to be open. On the
exactly. So, they're like, and we talked about it, earlier in the year, how I thought, he would see something pre-snap and be like, all right, I'm staying away from that. They're double teaming Jeremiah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to come over here. When, they didn't double team him. He was open. It comes with the experience and the more he sees it. But I mean, he does such a good job. And I don't know that Ryan's going to say, hey, we want you to take that shot. Because you are dropping it down and you're getting a first down because your running backs turn it upfield and they get that 7 yards that
Carnell was double teamed on the first touchdown.
Well, I know. Yeah. He's like, they were backing up, but he still went and got it. So, but it's, Julian, he's doing everything that they're asking him. And I think he's continuing to see the field really well and just understanding what the coaches are, the play calls that are coming in, what they're looking for. And if he continues this, man, the passing game is working. Yep. We just got to get that run game going, and we're going to be unstoppable.
I think the sky is the limit for Julian Sayin with what he has provided the first 7 games of his Ohio State career. Again, the final score today from Camp Randall. Ohio State takes down Wisconsin 34-0. Coming up next, we're going to wrap things up. Hand out some Buckeye leaves as the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Around here, it's all or nothing, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anybody. Like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through November 3rd, get a new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander with 4.75 APR financing. Or you can get 5.75 APR financing on hybrid models with approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The Donato's Pep Duo Pizza is back, and it brought a pal. The Donato's Pep Duo, loaded with crispy pepperoni and 3 kinds of cheese. Now get a large Pep Duo pizza for just $14.99. Also back, Donato's deliciously dippable pepperoni cheese bread. Now on the $5 Pizza Pals menu for a limited time. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's. Gotta love more.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts. And for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
Buckeye football lives here. The Fan.
Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join American Electric-powered Donato's Kroger, the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, and Huntington Bank and WBNS TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/BuckeyesCare. Again, the final score today from Madison, Wisconsin. Buckeyes 34, Badgers nothing. More of the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
We have acres of brand new Chevys, Chryslers, Jeeps, Dodges, and Ram vehicles, as well as used cars and trucks that you're looking for at the Jeff Weiler Columbus Auto Mall in Canal Winchester. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we can find it at one of our 23 other locations. So come shop the lot or view over 2,000 cars right at your fingertips at JeffWeilerColumbusAutomall.com. Plus, use Weiler Direct to see monthly payments, value your trade, and get pre-approved. Rooted in family, driven by you.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith, Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
2nd and 10. Ohio State at the 13 of Wisconsin. This has been a time-evaporating drive. 5:44 and counting, fourth quarter. Julian Sand straight behind center. Carson Hinsman gets the snap. Sand to pass. Looking, rolling on the right side of the Wisconsin 20. Sand fires into the end zone. Caught. Ennis. Touchdown. Brandon Ennis. As he was able to get that in the right corner of the end zone on a 13-yard pass play. The first TD of the year for Brandon Ennis, junior from Hollywood, Florida. 33-0 Ohio State.
Congratulations to Brandon Ennis today. That was we're going to do Buckeye Leaves here in a couple of minutes. Well-deserved. Great throw from Julian. Good catch by him. A little toe drag in the back of the end zone. Was able to control the ball. Again, he's a captain of your team. I know we have talked about him, Jay-Z, on the punt return unit and maybe in the slot. Like, okay, there's some things going on here. Let's maybe see who's kind of in the wheelhouse and who's next up and coming. Brandon Ennis deserved that touchdown today.
I agree with you. Coming into the season, when I was at practice this camp, I was like, man, he looks good. I thought he trimmed down a little bit, looked faster. I expected, him to kind of jump on the scene. I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Just in that slot role, and it just hasn't popped for him. And with the punt returns, just a couple of returns he's had have been nice. He had the one fumble, I think, early on in the season on a nice return.
Rebounded from that.
But yeah, he's rebounded. He's had some good returns, but there's been some just, you can't let that bounce there. Or, just some... some of those, and the thing is, it's
Even
nitpicking,
today,
and
he caught one at the 4-yard line, right?
Yeah,
Nice return, actually. After that.
there, but that was because earlier he let one go and they got it on the 1-yard line. But it's just like some things have gone, and it's just it's nice to see him, a captain, somebody that the team really likes. Just plugging away, and not that he's doing bad when he's running his routes. He's probably getting covered. He's taking people away, opening for others. So he's being a really unselfish player. And to see him get a score, and you could see the smile on his face on the sideline, like he felt good to get that.
Absolutely.
So good on him. Good for them. Kind of getting him in there and getting a play for him. And Julian, rolled out on that one, found him in the back of the end zone.
There were 3 throws in my mind today, and I want to pick your brain on this because the first one to Carnell was incredible, right? Like.
He has to bounce out of the pocket, move into his left.
If you're playing throw or catch, maybe you give it to Carnell on the catch. There was another one that was down like the right seam where Julian bounced out of the pocket. He was on the run and hit Carnell for maybe like 20, 22 yards. That was a good one. And then I come back to the Brandon Ennis throw. I don't know which one was the best today from him, but it's a heck of a highlight reel that he has
well, I mean,
from today's game.
Then you throw in a couple of those sideline balls. I mean, those. What people don't understand is when you get on the left hash and you're going to the right sideline on a 12-yard comeback or whatever you want to call it out there, that's a long throw. And for him to be able to do that and still keep it up high and put it in just a position where only his guy is going to get it or it's going to be out of bounds, I mean, there's a lot of highlights in there. And those aren't going to be flashy because you don't score on them, but it moves the chains. You know, a lot of – and he's been doing that all year long. So it's really fun to watch. And at some point, you just wonder, like, when's it not going to look like this? Because it's just like he's young.
Don't think that.
But, you know, it's just like you just expect it now. Like, that ball wasn't right in the guy's face mask. What's he doing? Man. You know, he is. It's incredible. But I know how hard it is. So it's like, I know. But he's just going out and answering it every week. So it's really cool to watch. And, you know, he's got this offense going. We just got to get, you know, a little complimentary football going with that run game, and we'll be fine. But if we have to go out and throw the ball 50 times a game, I feel okay about that.
I think it's going to be fun.
I feel okay about that.
I think it'll be fun. Teddy, let's do some Buckeye leaves.
It's time to hand out some Buckeye leaves.
Jay-Z, I think I speak for you and me both. Buckeye leaves Julian Sand today. 36-42, 394. 4 touchdowns for him. Everything that he did today was on point. Ryan Day and Brian Hartline and the offensive guys wanted to challenge him. Billy Fessler, the quarterback's coach. Again, I think he passed with flying colors. You want to give him a lot? I think he can handle it. Whatever the next step is in his progress and his progression as an Ohio State quarterback, I think he's ready for it.
Well, and then where does our offense go from there? You know, like they've really done a good job of protecting him and not really needing that. So it's like, if you really feel comfortable with him doing that, like that, what's that look like? I mean, I guess we saw it kind of today, but moving forward, going into November with some big games on, you know, the schedule. You know, what do they do and what route do they decide to go when they get into a game, I guess?
Linebackers, Buckeye leaves, Peyton Pierce, Arvell, Sonny, all over the place today.
All over the place. Played great. I'm going to throw one out to Carson Hinsman. Only guy on our team who's from Wisconsin, going back home.
Showed mom in the stands.
Talked about this week how he was here in 23, I think it was, and he didn't play well, had a bad game. So, you know, and that's the crazy thing about, we talk about the run game. Like the offensive line, I feel like, has done a really good job in protection, pass pro. And I think we talked about last week, they're like top 5 in a lot of PFF grades, and you know, like that sort of thing. So, I think they played really well, gave Julian time to throw the ball, and that's what it all comes down to, right? He's got to have a pocket that he can stand in and trust to deliver the ball, and the offensive line, you know, gave him that today.
I would like to see a little bit more explosiveness from them in the run game, too.
Well, that's
a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
We got Penn State coming to town here on November 1st. Let's work on some run blocking.
I would like that as well, but I'm giving some flowers because, you know, pass game, 42 dropbacks.
Yeah.
The guy gets sacked, I think, once.
One time.
That's
Wasn't
a solid
pressured
day.
a whole lot either.
Well,
Had
that's a
time.
solid day for the offensive line in that aspect, anyways.
Had a lot of time. I will give the Wisconsin punter some Buckeye leaves.
And I'm going to take one from my boy Leroy.
I don't think that was a true fake punt. I think he just saw a seam, and then, unfortunately for Ohio State fans, made a linebacker miss.
He's like, you know what? The season's down the drain. I'm going to make my highlight play right here.
It's the best play they had.
Juke a linebacker and go pick up a first down.
What was it, 4th and 18? And he got 20 yards. Yeah, that was crazy. Buckeye leave to him. I think all around, Jay-Z, all the fans that are up at Camp Randall today who made the pilgrimage. I've never been up there before. You've been up there. Looks awesome on TV. I would love to go up there to a game at some point. But, yeah, lots of Buckeye leaves to be handed out. It was a very, very good day, and it comes at the right time because Ohio State now gets the bye week, and then they get a couple of weeks to prepare for Penn State coming into town, who has been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they've been through a lot. And, you know, we got out there for the most part healthy today, and that's good going into a bye week.
Wisconsin
we got the guys
did not.
No, they did not. They lost, 2 or 3 more guys today, I think. So their total's probably close up to around 20 of guys that they expected to be playing this year and are not right now. So that's tough.
What are you doing during the bye week? You got anything fun planned next weekend?
Oh, probably some apple picking or something. You know how the wives like to get us going. We got a day off.
I know. We went to Central Ohio's finest pumpkin patch last weekend. We went to a department store and a hardware store to pick out our pumpkins.
They got them all sitting out front.
I'm not going 45 minutes to go and just pick out a pumpkin. We got one over here.
Yeah, well, Grandpa Steve will have them all set out for us next weekend.
Jay-Z, had a great time. I'll talk to you here in a couple of weeks.
Yes,
all right?
sir.
The executive producer of Ohio State Radio Sports is Skip Mossick. On behalf of our studio producer, Panama Teddy Holbrook, and for Justin Zwick, I'm Brandon Beam, inviting you to join us Monday night at 6 for Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King. And then Thursday at noon for the next Ryan Day Show, presented by Roosters. Ohio State is idle next week before hosting Penn State November 1st. Stay tuned to the station for the airtime of our AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show. Ohio State football has been brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance and by Bob Evans Farms. Once again, the final score today, Buckeyes 34, Badgers nothing. Thanks for listening. This has been Ohio State football on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physician